you doing? This is Tom. This is Tom's Radio Room Show. I hope you're doing good. I'm going to address a comment or some information I got recently about purchasing shortwave radios. And the gentleman was looking for a new shortwave radio, just getting into the hobby. And he had sent me a list of a number of radios that he was considering and was asking my advice, which is, I'll give you my advice, but keep in mind, I'm no expert. So we emailed back and forth, and he liked my Grundig 750. And he told me that, was it worth the cost? And I thought, well, yeah, it's worth the cost. But then he tells me to get a new one nowadays is 50% or maybe more than what I paid for it last year. I paid about $240 for it. Actually, it was donated to me by one of my subscribers, but he paid $240. And now, if you go on, for instance, Amazon, it's like $325 or something like that. And in some cases, not necessarily at that price, but in some cases, it's not the original Grundig, which is a nicer radio than the replacement sold by Eaton. The plastic is a little cheaper on the Eaton. I don't know about the electronics. But anyway, the Eaton is selling for about $300. And I thought, man, this is crazy. You know, I hear people saying, shortwave is dead, shortwave is dead. Well, if it's dead, why are these radios, especially the used one, the price is going through the roof? So this morning, for the heck of it, I went on eBay. Here's eBay. And I did a very common search on shortwave radio. Nothing special there. And so this is a smattering of all kinds of things, including radios. So let's just go down here briefly. Now here is a little Grundig. I think this is a mini 400. $50. $50. I don't remember paying that much. Let's go on to, and I'm not criticizing the sellers here. So don't get me wrong about that. I'm just saying the market has gone nutso. Let's just go down a little more. Okay. Now here is a vintage radio. It looks like a very generic radio that I've seen a lot of companies back when these were released put their name on it. This one's starting bid is $125 and a buy now $250. This is an old analog radio that it was okay, but it, sensitivity was not great, didn't have a lot of features. I don't know. Now here's another manufacturer, Sony. Their prices are the prices on used and even new Sony radios is through the roof. Now this one's not too bad. Here's a SW7600GR, $140. Not too bad. Not too bad. And you got to keep in mind, most of these are used. Let me see if I can find some more. I wish there was a way to weed out things a little better, but I haven't learned how to do it. Okay, come on. Find me some radios that we're familiar with. Now here's this little Grundig M400. This has been around for a long time. The starting bid is $20. And I don't even know if it's new. And the buy now is $35 plus there's $6 shipping. It's unbelievable. Okay, let's do this a little differently. I'm going to go up and kind of narrow the field down to Grundig. We'll say Grundig shortwave radios. Nope, I misspelled it. Oh boy, I fat fingered it. Hey, I don't know if you realize it, but if you misspell in your search, you could actually find radios that you're looking for that nobody else knows about because they spelled it correctly. That's interesting. Okay, here's a Yacht Boy 230. So that's a pretty old radio. As is, so it's not like it's got a problem. The starting price of the bids is $35. $35 for an as is Yacht Boy 230, which is not that great of a radio. Here's a Grundig FR 250 emergency radio. As far as shortwave, this is really poor, but it is an emergency radio. $100 starting price plus $10 shipping, and we're just looking at Grundig right now. Here is the newer Grundig satellite radio, which I didn't particularly like. It's made by Eaton again, so a lot of stuff is kind of like the tuning dial is kind of chintzy. $190. This is brand new, and $8 shipping. $190. Whew, wow. So I think you got to get the idea that people are saying shortwave is dead, but look at the going prices for shortwave radios. Here's a Grundig 700 starting at $200. Well, you know, that is kind of a collector's item. They're hard to find though, so yeah, maybe, okay. $200 though. So what I do is every morning I have about 10 items or 10 things that I have a search for that's stored, and I get an email every morning that says, we found these things under your search for eBay. And then I go look at them. It takes me about an hour to go through this because I'm looking for radios to review, and usually in this case, they're used radios. And I've been doing this for months, and boy, the pickings have been terrible. And they're just, you know, the radios are out there. There's tons of radios out there, but they're just, the asking price is just astronomical. So let's just go, for the heck of it, let's go to Amazon. Better yet, let's go to my Amazon store. Okay, here's my Amazon store. If you're not familiar with my Amazon store, what it is you can get a partnership with Amazon to have what I call a storefront, because that's all it is. It's just a web page listing things that you choose to put in your store. People can come to your store, pick an item, then say, okay, I'm going to buy it. It then takes you to Amazon, and you're at the regular full Amazon now, just like you would if you went there directly. The only difference is if you buy something, I get a small commission. And then what I do is I use that small commission to buy things to review on my shelf. And you can also buy other things when you've come from my store. You can buy other things like, oh, I don't know, printer paper. You could buy printer paper, and I will get a commission on that, even though it's not in my store. Or you can select something in my store, go to Amazon, and you go to Amazon from my store. That's how the link gets set up. And then you can delete that item and then add other items, which I get a commission on. So for instance, let's just take an example. this, we were going to take an example of a radio. So let's go to, I got several pages here. Let's go to amateur and shortwave radio. Okay, so let's pick, and over time I mixed other things in here. Okay, here is a Grundig 750. Here is the listing. Again, you're on my web page. Once you have added it to your cart, then you can go to Amazon, and you're dealing with Amazon, full warranties, everything through Amazon. It gets shipped from Amazon. I don't have any of this equipment. It's all on Amazon. And then I would get a small commission. Okay. So here is the Grundig 750. Last year, I think it was last year, when I got mine, it was about $225. Now it's $329. Now, just for the heck of it, let's go to Amazon. I'm not gonna put it in my shopping cart. This is something else you can do. You can down here and look at 5 new or used available. You can click on that, or you can click on customer reviews, I think. Let's try it. Okay. 5 are new or used available, $259. Okay, now we're to Amazon. Now, since we've gone to Amazon, you can buy this radio or anything else as long as you stay here, and I get a commission for it. So now let's go back and let's go to the product information. That's what we're interested in. Now, is this, no, this, look at this. This is, as you see, this is when I bought mine. Gosh, it's been that long. 2013. Well, I apologize. I thought it was last year. Man, time flies when you're having fun. So anyway, this is not even a Grundig original like mine is. I didn't realize I bought or got mine back in 2013. This is an E10 version of it. And what the gentleman who I was emailing back and forth, who was interested in buying this, told me that he found out that E10 has cheapened the looks of this. From the standpoint is, instead of like metal tuning knob here, it's plastic. Now, whether it affects the operation, I don't know. But anyway, forgetting that, this is $339. Of $330. Almost a $100 increase from 2013. And it's not even an original Grundig. It's an E10 version of the Grundig. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I'm not sure where people are getting the idea that shortwave listening is dead based on these prices. Because if it was really dead, the resale value of these radios would be in the toilet. You know, people wouldn't be asking these prices, and they're getting these prices. Maybe not, you know, the full value, but they're getting pretty close to it. I mean, there are several radios that I have on my wish list. They're older radios. They're popular radios that are on my wish list that are selling for 2 and 3 times what I would expect to pay for a used radio. And keep in mind, it's a used radio. It may have problems. So I don't know. I don't think shortwave radio is dead by any chance. Anyway, I just thought I would show you what I saw, my observations. If you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for everybody that has subscribed. Thanks for everybody that has used my Amazon store. I really appreciate that. Like I say, I use all the money that I get from people who come from my Amazon store and make a purchase. I use that commission that they give me, and it's just in the form of a credit. I don't get any money, so I have to spend it on Amazon, and I use it to buy things review. And this also is kind of my excuse, I'll say. This is my excuse for the fact that I have not reviewed any radios recently. The prices are just astronomical. So I keep hoping that I'll catch something. Like the last radio I caught was a good deal. I got it off of eBay. And that's my excuse. And like I say, I have been watching Amazon every morning. I check Amazon to see if there's anything in the way of shortwave radio equipment or gadgets that I can buy and put on my show. Just the prices are just out of sight right now. And I thought, they were high in the winter, which is normal. It's the summer. I thought they would come down in the summer. They haven't. They've continued to go up. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.